A change is coming to Playboy. The iconic men's magazine will no longer publish photos of fully naked women in its magazine. However, Playboy says it will still feature partially nude women in provocative poses. Hugh Hefner founded Playboy over 60 years ago in her hometown Chicago, played an important role in the history of the Playboy empire.
Hello there. Glad you could join us this evening. I'm Hugh Hefner, editor-publisher of Playboy magazine, and your host. This is Playboy's Penthouse. Come on in and meet some of our guests.
Wow, that's taking it back, right? The Playboy experience was never just about sex, but about lifestyle and about music, especially jazz, a personal passion of Hugh Hefner. In her book, Playboy Swings, author Patty Farmer takes a groundbreaking look at Playboy through a new lens, through the lens of music. And joining me now is Patty Farmer to talk about her new book and how Hugh Hefner and Playboy changed really the face of music. And I don't know, and Patty, thanks for coming on.
Oh, thank you for having me on. It's a pleasure.
Sure. So Playboy comes out in 1953, and right away, as I understand it, even that first issue had an interview or a feature on the Dorsey band, the Brothers Band, right? And it just took off from there. You had the music poll every month. I mean, there's always been, or always was, a major emphasis towards music from the outset, right?
From the very beginning, Playboy was instrumental in furthering the popularity of jazz and at the same time fighting racial discrimination. So.
I understand, too, and I didn't know about this, but in 1959, the first Jazz Fest took place right here in Chicago at the stadium. That was a big event, right?
That was a huge event, but I have to tell you, Corey, it didn't start out to be so big.
Okay.
It was going to be a party to celebrate the 5th anniversary of the magazine, and Hef wanted to invite all his favorite entertainers, and it grew to be a 3-day jazz festival. So what started out as a party is still going on in 2015.
Right, and you follow in your book the beginning of Playboy and how they opened clubs all over the country and how music was a constant theme wherever they opened, right?
Absolutely. You know, as you said, jazz was always a passion of Hef's, and he incorporated it into everything from, again, like you mentioned, that first magazine to the clubs, to the festival, to the TV shows.
It's fun to look at the old clips. At its heyday, how many clubs were there in North America?
Well, there were 40 worldwide, and taking off the few in London and Japan and the Caribbean, I believe the number is right at like 32.
I saw a nice photo of Hugh Hefner and Louis Armstrong from back in the day. He mingled with all the greats, right, at one point or another?
Absolutely. He had Ella Fitzgerald hanging out at the office. Tony Bennett was a great Playboy friend, but just everybody. Somebody asked me, you know, well, who performed at the Playboy Clubs and on the TV shows? Right. And I said I'd have an easier time telling you who weren't there.
That's funny. So initially, I mean, the sense is initially he was going after the jet setters and folks with a lot of money and all that kind of thing, but eventually his emphasis on music trickled down to everyday folks, did it not?
Right, right. Hef was selling a lifestyle, you know, and it incorporated the magazine, but just sophistication and, you know, great music, a nice apartment, good car.
Right. Boy, you wonder now today with this the de-emphasis of you know, the photography of naked women, if maybe they don't go back to some of their roots in terms of the emphasis on music.
Wow, we didn't see that coming, did we? But Hef's amazing success has always been because of his forward thinking, and I think the latest announcement really is a bold and correct stance for Playboy and for women.
One final question. As you researched this book, and I know you did a lot of it, anything that really surprised you over the course of this project that maybe you got to and you went, wow, that'll be something that they'll be talking about?
Just the great performers that came out of the Playboy clubs. You know, we had Aretha Franklin You know, 18 years old, started at the Chicago Club, you know, singing and playing the piano at that time. But again, we had Tony Bennett. Just the huge amount, I think, is what surprised me. The huge amount of great, great entertainment we had. And the fact that Playboy was the largest employer of entertainment in the country for almost 2 decades.
That is amazing. Again, the book from Patty Farmer is available today?
Yep.
Okay, and you've got a couple of book signings coming up as well, right? You're going to be at, let's see, at Barbara's Booksellers, I believe, right?
Right.
And at the Sears Tower and at several other places coming up in the next few days. If folks want more information about where you'll be, where should they go?
Patty-farmer.com. We have the schedule there. I'll be at Barbara's tomorrow, the 15th at noon, and again at 7.
Very nice. It's a pleasure to meet you. Good luck with the book. It sounds fascinating.
Well, thank you. Thank you again for having me.
I appreciate you being here. We're going to break. Up next, Tammy.